Welcome to Identity Matters with Dr. Kathleen Perry. Join in to explore one of life's big questions. Who am I really? The Identity Matters podcast will show you that you are and always have been innately whole and worthy just as you are. So slow down, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to Identity Matters. I'm your host, Dr. Kathleen Perry. And I was remembering a time, I think the first time I was about 8 years old. I grew up in Southeast Michigan, and my parents would make a drive to Sandusky, Ohio, to an amusement park there called Cedar Point. I loved going there. But there was one ride in particular that had these old-fashioned cars. They kind of reminded me of like a Model A, and it was just an open car. And I would get in the driver's seat, and one of my parents would sit in the passenger seat next to me. And you'd grab the steering wheel, and you actually could direct the car side to side, but it would only go so far because there was a metal track, I don't know, either in the middle or guardrails on the side. I can't really remember. And you could actually make the car go a little bit faster. You'd push on the gas pedal, but of course there was a stop. There was a limit to it. But, you know, when you're a little kid, you feel like you're actually driving and you're actually directing. You're following the road, not knowing that, no, actually you're really not. So the wheel would turn, and it was just so much fun. And one day, I think I got old enough, because we probably went, I don't know, 5 times, 4 or 5 times. I remember going with another girlfriend's family. And at some point, I knew that there were these metal guardrails, and it was still fun. And I never felt cheated. I still feel like I was driving a car because I was driving a car. Not a real car, like an 18-year-old with a driver's license. So it was one of my favorite memories. And here's what I think is going on when we grip the steering wheel of our life like that. You know, we think that certainty is available, but it's not. The ability to manage and direct your life in a certain way, the ability to actually be in charge of where that car goes, not on that ride, not really, doesn't look like to me anywhere in our life. What's actually happening, the reality itself is not certain. Life is uncertain. Moment to moment, we just really don't know. It's always like that. And that's not, to me, a flaw in the system. It's just what's real. It's just how it is. So when we crave certainty, we're not craving something we misplaced. We're craving something that was actually never on offer. And that craving isn't weakness. It's just our nervous system doing its job, reaching out for solid ground, because solid ground seems to mean safety. But certainty and safety aren't really the same thing. So certainty is a feeling, and safety is a condition. And you can chase that feeling forever without ever landing the condition, because the feeling was never actually tied to the outcome. Just like the wheel was never actually tied to the direction. So this brings me around to control. We talk about control like it's a habit, something we do, over-planning, over-managing, gripping too hard. But underneath that doing is a belief. It's the belief that effort reliably produces a specific outcome. That if you turn the wheel exactly right, the car goes exactly where you meant it to go. And that belief usually got installed somewhere. Some moment where staying in control actually mattered, actually kept something bad from happening. And then the mind generalizes it from there. If I manage this hard enough, then I get to decide every time what happens. I'm in charge of the outcome. You know this one. It's like when you're about to say something to someone who really matters to you, and before your words get out of your mouth, you've already rehearsed it 4 different ways. Soften this word, cut that word out, angle the whole sentence so it lands a certain way. Hands on the wheel. Turn it exactly right. And you know, the other person takes what you said and runs it through their own day, their own life history, their own nervous system that has nothing to do with you. And they feel whatever they're going to feel. You were never directing that or managing that to begin with. There was never a beeline running from your mouth to their reaction. There's a track under that car too, but it was never yours to lay. Or another example, you wake up and there's a headache already there before you even open your eyes all the way. And the mind doesn't just feel it, it goes straight to work. What did I do wrong? Did I sleep on it funny? Did I not drink enough water? Was it the wine I drank? Some part of you is already building the case, already assigning blame, already looking for the lever that you must have pulled to cause this. Maybe one of those things does matter. Maybe none of them do. The body doesn't wait for a verdict. It's already producing the sensation, and it's already doing whatever it's doing with complete, innate, inbuilt intelligence. No need for you to jump in and try to manage the process. It doesn't matter whether or not the mind ever finds the cause. The wanting to know isn't really about knowledge. It's those same hands, that same steering wheel. If I can just find what caused it, I can control whether it happens again. The headache becomes a track that you didn't lay. And we grab the wheel anyway, certain that gripping harder, turning it hard one way, will explain it, undo it, prevent it. So underneath the grip is a second layer. Not just what's happening, but also this shouldn't be happening. That kind of resistance. Fighting the sensation itself, the headache, on top of having the headache. A headache and the war with the headache. I talk about that in my program, The Intelligence Inside. It's a lot about what I teach in there. The body doesn't need us to manage it. It really just needs us to get out of the way. And so having said all that, the ride to me still feels like it's worth riding. So maybe the track was never the problem. The track is just what's real, moment to moment, whether your hands are on the steering wheel or not. What gets grasped for in the rehearsing, the softening, the managing, the fighting in that conversation was never certainty at all. It was just the feeling of it. A few minutes of believing that the whole ride is yours to steer. Funny. Hands go on the wheels most days, I think. And you know what? It's not a flaw within you to try to fix. You can just notice it. And there's something almost restful in noticing the track under the car. And in turning the wheel because it's there to be turned. But not because the whole ride depends on it. So what if the track was never the problem? Thanks for being here today. Look forward to talking to you next week. Thank you for listening to Identity Matters. I hope you found this episode insightful. If you're ready to delve further into this journey of self-discovery and uncover your innate wholeness, I invite you to consider one-on-one coaching with me. Together, we can explore the unique challenges and opportunities in your life or your business or both. And through that exploration, help you align with your true self. To learn more about my coaching services, visit drkathleenperry.com/services.